Okay, for today's beginners class, we have a bunch of things that we're going to be going over. We're going to make sure we review the very important concept of focus and dealing with distractions. We're going to be talking about how to do a roundhouse kick better. Roundhouse kick is one of the biggest challenges for a beginner student to get promoted, right? They don't turn their foot enough. We're going to be working on that a lot today so we can help you get your stripes quickly. And then finally, we're going to be going over our self-defense, seeing if that you're quick enough to do it when I try and punch you, right? So lots to cover today. Let's get started with some warm-ups. All right, so let's get started with our warm-up. This warm-up has got 5 moves. Each one is for about 30 seconds. The first one that we're going to do is what's called a tap down knee. I'm going to demonstrate it once, and then we'll get practicing. All you want to do is be in a fighting stance. You reach down towards your front shin, knee, foot, whatever it is. You don't want to make it a stretch. You just want to move a little bit, and then you come up and use your back knee. All right, so we're going to do 30 seconds of that. All right, it doesn't matter which leg you do because we're going to repeat the other side in just a second. Ready, set, and go. Tap down and come up. Tap down and come up. Now, as you're practicing this, it's a good idea to pick something that's on the floor in front of you, maybe like 5, 10 feet in front of you, that you look at the whole time. I don't want to snap my head down, snap my head up, snap my head down, snap my head up. That'll make me dizzy. Right? I want to pick something that's pretty static, right, that I can look at without fear of losing my balance. So just keep tapping down and up. Good. All right, so that's 30 seconds that one. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to turn sideways for this demonstration. Ready, set, and go. And tap down and come up. And again, I can't stress the importance enough of the idea of you want to move your muscles, but not really stretch your muscle. So if it feels like it's a stretch as you reach down, you're going too far, right? You just want to activate those muscles, wake them up, not rip them up. All right, so a few more seconds. 30 seconds, almost done. Getting a couple messages, always exciting. Good, and time. Okay, next we're going to jumping jacks. Now, I'm going to show you a couple different versions of jumping jacks. We have a regular jumping jack, which you're probably familiar with, and then we have a modified jumping jack, which is great if maybe jumping is not great for you in your environment, either because you have people underneath of you in your house you don't want to disturb, or maybe you have an injury that you're trying to train around. So we're going to do some jumping jacks. We'll start with the regular ones. Right. Just going like this. Good. Now, if I want to do a different version, right, all I can do is I just step 1 foot at a time, like that. Right. And again, this is not as intense as regular jumping jacks, so you won't feel it as much, but you are working the same kind of muscles that you use when you do a jumping jack, in terms of your adductors, your abductors, your shoulders, all that kind of stuff. All right, and we're going to call time on that one. Okay, so next thing that we're going to be doing, just turned off my timer, that's a bad decision, is we're going to be doing some hooks and crosses, right? We're going to be doing a lead hook and then a backhand cross. Doesn't matter which side you have in front. We're going to go for 30 seconds, then we're going to switch. Ready, set, go. Lead hook, backhand cross. Right? Now, as I'm doing this, the big thing we're looking for is the ability to rotate your hip, rotate your feet, rotate your shoulder, but not rotate your head. Right? Just like when we were doing those tap down knees, we want to look at one spot during our warm-ups, right, to maintain our balance. And that's generally true when you're throwing these punches, not as a warm-up, right? Folks, throwing them, knock someone out, be the same idea, okay? So switch your legs, last warm-up move, 30 seconds, hooks and crosses. Ready, set, and go. Hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross. Turn and turn, turn and turn. Keep breathing, keep moving. All right, now it's a good idea as you're doing your warm-up to also work on your breathing timing. You want to breathe out as you punch out. Now, I can't do it because I'm talking, but if you get used to breathing, you'll be able to get more reps in, get more energy out, feel a lot better. All right, so we're done with warm-ups. Let's get ready for the main part of class. All right, so we're going to be working on control number 5 and control number 6. Right, really try to make sure that we have the pattern of our hands down. Right, now, as you watch for control number 5, and I set up, right, or control number 6, you just take one hand and you brush down and across, right? This block, so many people struggle with, right? But it's very important that you can get this good angle, right? Because you're riding down their arm, okay? You basically want to make contact close to their elbow, and you follow down towards their hand. And you're pushing with your palm, which is not something we normally do with a block. But for this particular move, we are doing that. You kind of are closer to your heel of your palm rather than up by your fingers. Right, so you just push down, just like that. So let's do 3. Push down, right? Push down, one more time. Push down. Do the same thing the other hand. Take your hand, push down, again, push down, again, push down. One more, push down. Okay. Now, what we're doing there is we're dodging out of the way. We're pushing the block, pushing the punch away from us, right? So that first part of every self-defense technique is stopping the thing from hitting you, right? Stop the immediate threat is what we usually refer to it as with a higher belt. So if there's a punch, I'm stopping that thing from hitting me, right? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab their wrist with the other hand. So it goes brush, grab, straight down, okay? Brush, grab, straight down. And some of you are noticing already, my hand is coming up by my face. Brush, grab, hand by my face. Brush, grab, hand by my face. Brush, grab, hand by my face. Okay? And then the last thing I'm going to add in for now is just going to be the back fist. Brush, grab, back fist. Now this back fist would go right into the face of the bully who's trying to hurt us, right? So we brush, grab, back fist them. Brush, grab, back fist. Brush, grab, back fist. Brush, grab, back fist. Right? Pretty simple, right? Do the same thing on the other side. Brush, grab, back fist. Brush, grab, back fist. Brush, grab, back fist. Brush, grab, back fist. Okay, so what I would like you to do right now is I want you to just try and match me. So if I do this side, right, try and match up. If I do the other side, try and match up. Kind of look like we're in a mirror to one another, right? So start with your hands up, whichever side I do, try and do. Brush, grab, back fist. Other side, brush, grab, back fist. Brush, grab, back fist. I have to decide which hand I'm going to use. It's so hard to choose, right? And the idea here is not dissimilar to when you're doing self-defense. You have to watch to see when to act, right? Because people don't warn you. You don't have a bully say, watch out, I'm about to punch you with my right hand now. You better defend yourself. No, you have to watch for that cue. When you see my hand move, that's when you have to move. So it requires some good focus, right? Because sometimes I make you wait. And you're watching my hands, right? You don't want to look at my face right now. I'm going to just look at my hands. You don't want to look out the window and get distracted, right? Okay, so we've practiced that a couple times. Hopefully you were able to keep up. If you need some more time to practice, go ahead and pause this. Otherwise, we're going to move on to adding in the block. Adding in the dodge. Right, we already did the block, right? When we go to add in the dodge, we're going to be moving off the center line. We're just going to do the dodge for a second. I'm here. I've got to move out of the way, move forward and to the side. I know we've done this before, so we're going to get through it pretty quick. Dodge forward and to the side and get back. Or I'm going the other side, dodge forward and to the side, get back. Going that way again, dodge forward to the side and get back. Right? As always, whenever we do these dodges in self-defense, we want to make sure we're still balanced. So I dodge, and I'm ready to still act. I could dodge again. I don't want to be some twisted pretzel kind of action, like dodge out of the way. And I'm like, that's a weird dodge. Don't do that, guys. Okay? So dodge again, come back, get ready to dodge one more time, and get back. Okay, so now the trick for you is to figure out, as you're visualizing, the attack is coming straight at you from the screen, right? Which hand do you block with? Which hand do you back fist with? Right? It's the same hand, right? It's the hand that's closest to the screen. So if I dodge towards you, the hand that's closest does the brush, the grab, and the back fist. Right? If I dodge the other way, this hand is closer now. Brush, grab, back fist. When you end up, your hand should be kind of aiming towards me when you do the back fist. If your back fist is going towards, the other room or something like that, you use the wrong hand and you should fix that. Okay, so we're going to try that together. We'll do a couple more. We're going to mirror each other, right? I move that way, move the same direction. Dodge, brush with the hand that's closest to me, grab with the other hand, back fist right at me. Right? Do that again, start from here. Ready, dodge out of the way, brush with the hand closest to me, grab, and back fist. Right? Again, dodge out of the way, Which hand is closest? That hand brushes, other hand grabs, and back fist right at me. Okay. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I dodge out of the way. Which hand brushes? It's the one that's closest to the screen. Grab with the other hand, and back fist. All right, we're going to do that again. Starting from here, dodge, brush, grab, back fist, boom, right at me. All right, let's do 2 more. Dodge, brush, grab, back fist at me. 1 more. Dodge, brush, grab, back fist. Okay, so that dodge, brush, grab, back fist is really important. Right, what we're going to do now, so kind of our final challenge with this is, I'm going to punch at you. Right? When I punch at you, you're going to dodge, brush, grab, back fist. And your goal, when you do this, is to do 5 of them where you move the correct direction and use the correct hand, right? So if you don't get it, go back and rewind, right? And try it again and again and again. If you get this first action, dodge, brush, grab, back fist, on control 5 and control 6, the rest of the technique is really easy, right? This is the hard part, right? Of dodge, brush, grab, back fist, right? So I'm going to punch at you. I'll give you 8 tries. If you get at least 5, it's good. If you can get more than that, excellent, right? And just like I was saying before, I'm not going to warn you. I'm not going to say, watch out, I'm about to punch you. You better defend yourself. You better watch my hand as I come to get you. I could use either hand, I guess, right? Whichever one I come to punch at you with. Show focus, good dodge. Good. Hopefully you got that done in time. Right? If you're not fast enough to finish it, maybe you should practice a little bit more. Good. Dodge, brush, grab, back fist. Hey, your shoelaces are untied. Oh, man. That trick works so much better in class. I don't know why. Good. Make sure you're watching. We've already done a few. Hopefully you've gotten to 4 by now. If you haven't gotten to 4, well, that's okay. Keep going. Okay, some of you are done already. Keep going if you're already done. I'll just punch faster, right? Right. Sometimes I like to make people wait, test their ability to stay focused, make sure they're not looking at the dog, your cat, your brother, your sister. You're looking at me because I'm punching you, right? Any second now when I go to punch you, stay focused on me. Don't get distracted. Don't get punched in the head. Do your self-defense. All right, so everybody, great job on your self-defense. Like I said, if you want to go back and rewind that and try that again, you want to be able to do that self-defense really fast without having to stop and think, right? For now, great job. Let's get ready for the next part of class. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about focus today, which we were talking about last week, and you probably remember, has to do with keeping your eyes, your ears, and your mind on what you're doing, right? And the kind of opposite of being focused is to be distracted. A distraction is something that pulls you away from what you're doing, right? So maybe you're trying to do your homework, and the TV is on, and you keep looking over at the TV screen instead of doing your homework, right? Or maybe you're in class, and the teacher's trying to show you how to, maybe it's one of our teachers who's trying to teach you how to kick, or maybe you're in school and they're trying to teach you math, and there's another kid next to you who's talking to you, and that person's being a distraction, right? And we want to know how to handle a distraction, right? There are a couple different ideas. The first thing is you can try and get away from that distraction, right? So if you're at home and maybe you're trying to do your homework in the kitchen, right? And your brother is eating lunch and watching TV in the kitchen, well, maybe you should try to do your homework in a different room, right? Maybe go to your own room and try and do it in there, okay? Or maybe go in, I don't know, the living room, someplace where there isn't a distraction like a TV playing nearby you, right? The other thing is you can ask the distraction to stop, right? So you can try and walk away from the distraction, or you can ask the distraction to stop. So that might mean asking your brother, like, hey, could you turn the TV off? I'm trying to do my homework, right? Or whatever you have to do. Asking nicely and politely, obviously, right? And then being able to resume back to what you're doing. You're in class. You ask the kid next to you who's speaking to you, could you please not speak to me right now? I'm trying to listen to the teacher so I can get this right. Okay, so you can ask nicely, or you can get away from the distraction, right? Very important idea when we talk about focus, right? We want to demonstrate that throughout classes together. So if you're watching one of these videos, right, and there's a kid, you know, there's someone else in your family who's doing something, either you can walk away from them, right, or you can ask them to walk away from you, whichever is the right one. Hard to tell you which is the right one from here, but if you're not sure, ask your parents. I'm sure they'll be able to give you some good advice. All right, folks, today we're going to be working on our basic beginner kicks, front kick and axe kick, and then we're going to spend some time on roundhouse kick, which is one of the hardest skills you do as a beginner, right? So we're going to start off with a front kick, right? We'll go to axe kick. Both of these kicks are very similar if you're white belt in terms of things we're judging. 1, you keep your hands up. 2, you look at your target. 3, you recover back to your fighting stance. And 4, you kick above your belt. If you're a yellow belt, they both require some speed, right? So we do evaluate, are you kicking quickly, right? It doesn't have to be super fast, but it's got to be a little bit fast, right? And finally, as a front kick, you have to bend and snap your knee, right? Bend, snap, instead of just wiggling it out, kind of loose. And finally, for an axe kick, you have like a little bit of an arc, an in and out arc. I'm going to explain that when we get to axe kick. For now, let's do our front kick. I want you to pick a goal, right? Start off with the intention of, I'm fixing my hands, or I'm fixing my eyes forward, or I'm kicking above my belt. Whatever that goal is, it's important that you have that goal in your mind and you do it for all 10 kicks. Don't change it in the middle and be like, you know what, I'm going to stop worrying about that because I did it right twice. Right? You want to do it at least 10 times in a row. Make that a good habit. Right? So here we go. Front kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Switch your legs. Now, when you switch your legs, you probably should have the same goal that you just had on your other leg. So if you were thinking about kicking high, you're still thinking about kicking high. If you were thinking about kicking fast, you probably should be kicking fast. That's true most of the time, unless you have one leg that you're much, much better at, and this one you really struggle with. But for now, let's do our front kick with your left leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now we're going to talk about that axe kick for a minute. When I do my axe kick, as a yellow belt, one of the things we look for is that your leg goes this way, right? So I'm going to exaggerate a little bit. My leg makes a circle going this way a little bit. When I do it the right way, it's very subtle. It's hard to see, right? The thing that you don't want to do, that a lot of people do, is they go the wrong direction. They go this way, okay? Don't do that one. Your leg comes in and then down. So go a little bit this way if you're using your right leg. And again, it's pretty subtle. You may not even see it. Let's do 10. 1, 2, I mean, I can see it. 3, but that's because I look for it. 4, 5, you might not. 6, 7, because you're just learning. 8, 9, and practice this a few times. 10. Okay, switch your legs. Same thing on the other side. This time my leg goes this way and down because it comes together and apart, not apart and together. Right? So here we go. I'll exaggerate a couple so you can kind of see the arc of the leg. 1, it's exaggerated. 2, now back to normal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now we're coming up on roundhouse kick, which is one of the harder kicks that we do, harder skills. With that being said, I want you to just watch. I'm going to show you in a couple different ways how we're doing it. For this, he has the same 3 basic goals. So keep your hands up, look at your target, and kick above your belt. There's one thing that's different. You don't necessarily have to recover back to be able to get your strike. You need to turn your foot on the floor. Right? So I'm going to show you a couple of these. Right? I do my roundhouse kick. You're going to fall forward, and then you'll step back exactly where you started. So again, I kick, and when I say fall forward, I mean put your foot down. I mean not like fall forward, landing face first on the floor. Hilarious, but probably bad for you. Don't do it. Right? Roundhouse kick, I land forward, and then I come back. You see that one more time? And this foot on the floor is really twisting. Okay? Since we're kicking with your right leg, hopefully you're kicking with your right leg, your toe should point at least that direction, if not even backwards. Okay? So if they turn more than at least that far, that's good. That's the least you can do. Turns more, fine, right? The idea of this is that it prevents us from hurting ourselves. By turning our foot, it gives us more power and it keeps us from hurting our leg. If I don't turn this, I can twist my ankle. If anybody's ever twisted your ankle, that's no fun. We don't want to do that, right? So I'm going to do a few with you. I'm going to do a couple of them low. If you're advanced at this and you want to do it higher, go for it. I'll do a few low and then we'll do a few high. Okay? Roundhouse kick with your right leg, land forward. 1, kick kind of low, fall forward, and come back. 2, fall forward, and come back. Make sure you're turning. 3, so my body turns, right, but I still look at the camera. 4, you can see my tummy turns from one wall to the other wall. 5, starts this way, turns that way, and then come back, right? I'm going to do 5 more, but this time I'm going to kick a little higher. I'm going to kick sideways. You shouldn't switch legs. Do the same thing. Ready? 1, then I come back. 2, come back. 3, come back. 4, make sure this foot is turning. Hopefully you can see it's twisting. And 5, that's twisting, right? I put my hand down, but that's because I was trying to point something out, literally. Okay, we're switching legs. We can do the exact same thing the other side. You do your roundhouse kick, kick kind of low. Or kick kind of high, whatever one you're ready for. I'll start low. Ready? 1, turn, fall forward, come back. 2, turn, fall forward, come back. 3, turn, fall forward, come back. 4, I kicked a little higher that time. 5, so I've practiced this a couple times. Okay, I'm going to do these sideways so you get a different point of view. Let's keep going though. 6, same leg for you that you were just doing. Don't change anything. 7, trying to look where I kick, keep my hands up. 8, turn that base foot, come back. 9, turn that base foot. And 10. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so we've got our roundhouse kick, our front kicks, our axe kicks. Let's get ready for the next part of class. Okay, for our drill today on roundhouse kicks, we're going to be working a little bit on, we're going to be working a little bit with, rather, a ball like this. So you want something like a soccer ball or a basketball or a stuffed animal that's about the size of a soccer ball. This may be a little bit small, but that's okay, right? And what we're going to be doing with this is we're going to be checking that we're landing properly as we do the land forward version of a roundhouse kick. And we're also going to be checking to see if we're controlling our hands. We're going to start off with our footwork. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put the ball down in front of us. I'm going to show you this sideways. You can see the ball's underneath of me right over here. And what I want to do is I want to do my roundhouse kick and land with one foot on either side of the ball like this. Boom, just like that. Okay, I'll show you with my other leg. Same idea. I have my front leg here. As I do my kick, it turns, and I kick and I land, and the ball is directly between my feet. Okay? I'll show you from the other side as well. I go to do my roundhouse kick. I kick towards you, and when I kick, the ball is directly between my feet. So as we're doing these first set of kicks, you never want to touch the ball. Okay? If you touch it, you did it wrong, right? You want to control yourself, land on the other side. To do that, you really have to turn your base foot, and that's the big thing that we're looking at. So we're going to do roundhouse kicks. We're going to do 10 on each side. Let's do it together. Set yourself up. Put your right leg in back, or your left leg in back, as long as you switch in a minute. Ready? 1, kick, land forward, and come back. 2, kick, land forward. Make sure that ball is directly between your feet, and come back. 3, kick, land forward, and come back. 4. Now, if this is easy for you, you can try and kick faster, or you can try and kick higher. 5, but the most important thing is that you can land in a controlled manner without touching the ball. Right? 6, land forward and come back. 7, land forward and come back. 8, land forward and come back. 9, almost there, land forward and come back. One more, 10, land forward and come back. Right? Now, as with all these kind of home practice videos, if you were having a hard time with that, and you want to stop and keep doing a few more on that side, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to move this over a little bit. I'm going to do the next 10 sideways so you get the different point of view for this one. All right, so I'm in my fighting stance. The ball's right in front of my foot. You can see that. Do my roundhouse kick, land forward, and come back, right? Let's go together. Ready? 1. By the way, you don't have to turn sideways. I'm just doing this so you get a different point of view. 2. Though I guess you can if you're bored or you want to change it up. 3. Good, and come back. 4. Make sure you're kicking at least as high as your belt, maybe even higher. 5. And come back. 6. And come back. We're almost there already. 7. And come back. 8. Land forward. Don't touch the ball. And come back. 9. Land forward. In a good fighting stance, don't touch the ball. And 10. Land forward. Don't touch the ball. Now, we're going to touch the ball. We're going to pick it up. So what we want to do now is we're going to hold the ball with our fingertips touching it, right? Only our fingertips. Now, if you have a stuffed animal, it's a little bit harder. You may have to grab with your palms, right? But you definitely don't want to let it touch your face or your chest, right? You want to keep it away from you. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a roundhouse kick, and we're going to try and keep both hands on the ball. A lot of people, as they go to kick, they move one hand out for balance. We don't want to do that today, right? We're going to try and keep our hands close to the ball. This will keep you aware, right, of your hand location and demonstrating control of your hands. Also, try and keep it up. Don't let it drop down. Okay, the most important thing is stay on it with your fingertips / hands, but not on your chest, right? If you can keep it up at head height, that's even better, right? Chin height really is good. Don't go up here, it's like, where'd everybody go? All right, so we're gonna do 10 on each side, doing a roundhouse kick. We're still landing forward, just like we did in the last drill. Ready? 1, kick, keep your hands up, land forward, and come back. So it's the same footwork. We're just checking your hands now. 2, land forward, come back. 3, land forward, come back. And you see it's not touching me. 4, I mean, except on my fingertips, but definitely not in your chest. You're not giving it a hug. It's not your mom. 5, everybody loves to hug their mom, but this is not your mom. 6, and come back. 7, whew, just like that, and come back. 8, land forward, and come back. 9, land forward, and come back. 10, good, land forward, come back. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna turn sideways for my next leg. You're gonna do your other leg. Remember, if you're doing it, feels too easy, kick higher, kick faster, pick a goal, but for sure, fingers on, off your chest, land forward. 1, and come back. 2, come back. 3, come back. 4, come back. Another thing you could think about doing, 5, point of your toes, point of your foot. 6, that's kind of like a yellow belt level detail. Ugh. 7, come back. 8, come back, almost there. 9, come back. And 10. All right, so good job on those roundhouse kicks. Falling forward really checks to see that we're rotating properly. Keeping our hands up demonstrates some good control over our balance, right? Let's get ready for the next part of class. Okay, so we're coming up on today's final challenge, which is going to use either a stuffed animal or a ball. And this challenge requires some balance and some core strength. And the way you basically do it, you stand on one foot. Well, you can practice together. You stand on one foot, you take the ball or the teddy bear, you pass it underneath your leg, just like this, without dropping it, right? And you're going to do that a bunch of times. I'll explain that in a minute. Once you do one side, you're going to do the other side, right? Once you do that a bunch of times, right, you'll win. Now, the question is, how many times do you have to do that without putting your foot down or without dropping the ball or the teddy bear, right? The simple answer is your age. If you're 3, you got to do this 3 times. If you're 7, you got to do it 7 times. If you're 10, you got to do it 10 times. We're going to say 10 is the max, though, right? So for any of you, like, if you got grandma in the room, she's like, I'm going to do it too with you. And she's doing 74 or whatever. Like, we'll give grandma a break. She's only got to do 10 too. All right, so I'll do 10, right? You can do 10 on each side. And remember, the rule is I have to pass it underneath without putting my foot down my age. So I'm gonna say that I'm only 4 or something. And then I'll switch my legs. I'm allowed to put my foot down when I switch my legs. If I put my foot down in the middle, I should immediately cry. Or I should just try again and start to get to whatever my number is. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Once you've done that, you've won. Again, if you drop the ball or you put your foot down, you restart only the leg that you dropped it for, okay? So we're gonna do this together. I'll do 10 on each side. You do your correct number. If you wanna do extras, you're like, oh, since I'm only 6, but I wanna do 10, go for it. All right, on your mark, get set, go. 1. Oh, almost dropped it. 10, good. I'm gonna use the other side. If you're ready, great. 1, 2, 3, keep that foot up, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, all right. So I got that on my first try. If you're still going, stick with it, right? Big thing that you wanna make sure you're doing is keeping your foot up. You kind of crunch into it. Just like that, so you can reach. Keep breathing too. If you stop breathing, it's really, really bad. If you're already done, you're done with class for today. Congratulations. Otherwise, keep going. I'll do a few more just to keep someone company if you're not done yet, right? Plus, it's good to practice. More practice makes me better. Right? And so we built up our core strength, our strength in our legs, our balance, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so you can keep going as long as you need to hit your target number. Great job today. I look forward to seeing you in class soon.